everyone, and welcome to our September Sew Fun Club. This month, we are doing something that we've never done before. We are featuring two different things, but most importantly, the first thing that we're going to be featuring is our 5 locations that we have in our Southern California stores. So if you haven't been to all of them, this is your chance to see them inside and out, and also to get motivated to come visit all of our 5 locations. The second thing that we're featuring this month is we're featuring the favorite tool of the trade of each of the stores. So each of the stores, we had the managers pick their favorite, and I'm going to be showing you them tonight and discussing why they're such wonderful things that they've picked. And without further ado, let's get going. My name's Michelle Rank, and let's dive in to our Sew Fun Club for September. So the first thing that I want to discuss is the 5 locations. Now, I've been to all of them, and all of them are very unique and different. We all offer the same type of machines and products, but I tell you, the staff really makes our stores very special, and it's great to be able to get to see how they're set up a little bit differently at each location and meet the staff that we have across the board at Moore's. So the first store that I want to feature is the store where I started my Moore's connection, and that is our Huntington Beach store. And at Huntington Beach, we have Robin Stanford, and she is the manager, and she picked this month the Creative Grids Extra Large Stripology Ruler. But super fun, and what a great item that we have. Now, the Stripology Extra Large Ruler, actually, as far as I can count, it takes care of 7 rulers. So you're going to be able to do strips, squares, rectangles, triangles, 45-degree angles, as well as 60-degree angles for triangles and diamonds. And also, it's a square-up ruler all in one. Let me move some of my other items away, and I'm going to just show you it briefly before we do a demo a little bit later. So this is that baby. This is the extra large Stripology ruler. Now, this ruler is made by Creative Grids, and Creative Grids has been in business since 1989, and they started in Leicester, England. So the Stripology ruler is a slit design. So you will see that there are slits that your rotary cutter will go through and do the cutting. Because of the size of this ruler, it is 20 inches long, and it will cut your fabric the width of your fabric. So if you get a cut of, let's say, a half a yard of fabric, you're going to fold that over in half, and then you fold it over one more time, and you can cut precise strips with this ruler. And you will cut all the way across, and that way you can make your own jelly roll strips. Now, additionally, it will also do 45-degree triangles and diamonds, as well as 60-degree diamonds. You will see that there are lines across that show it in black and white so that you can line your fabrics up precisely. The ruler has inches and half-inch marks on it, and like I said before, there's black and white ink. So if you have black fabric, you're going to use those white lines to line things up, and vice versa. If you have light fabrics, you'll use the dark fabrics. So another thing that is super important, like I said, so now we know what you can cut strips. With those, you can turn the ruler around and make it into squares or rectangles. With those 45-degree angles and the 60-degree angles, you can cut diamonds and squares. And the last great thing about this ruler is it is also used to square up your blocks. So using the squares on the center, you can use them to square up all of your blocks in inch or 1/2 inch segments. So super great. And like I said, 7 rulers in this one big ruler. And once again, the Creative Grids Stripology Extra Large Ruler will reduce your cutting by 75%, which means you're going to be getting to sewing that much sooner. So that's it. Creative Grids, designed by Gundren Erla, Stripology Extra Large Ruler. So as you can see here, this is Robin and her staff, and she's holding that ruler. Now, this location is located in Huntington Beach, but it is very conveniently located right off of the 405 freeway. The next location that I want to talk about is our Mission Viejo store, and I believe it's where it all started for our most locations here in Southern California. So Mission Viejo, we had Diane Maffris, and her item that she picked is this wonderful cork material. So this is by Eversewn, and it is 1 yard by 27 inches wide. Isn't that amazing? Super, super long and super wide. It is a natural with gold flecks that you should be able to see on the camera there. And I want to show you some of the things that I made with it. So the first thing is this wonderful little cork zip bag. So you can see I featured it, and I did embroidery right over the top. So you can see that I have the embroidery over the top, and then I went ahead and just finished this cute little bag. I tell you, you can never have too many zip bags. The next thing that I made was this little table topper, and once again I just went ahead and sewed right over the top. This cork is so easy to sew on. I didn't use any special feet. When I'm doing layers, I did use my walking foot, but other than that, super easy to sew upon. You can have basically your regular sewing threads. You're not going to require anything additional. It's just a really fun medium to use to embellish your fabrics or to add a little cork to some of the things that you've made. So the next thing I made is, look at this. This is a tote bag, and because this fabric, this cork, is so long, I was able to do a full panel, and I did it embroidery on top of it, added some flange, did my quilting. I have a little pocket in the back for my cork that I featured as well. And I love on the end of this cork roll, you'll see that it has gold on the end, and I thought that was a really cool additive to add to the top of my pocket there. Now this bag is fully lined, and another feature that I did was I have invisible straps on the front. So the straps go all the way to the bottom, and then I have a keyhole where they come up through. So you can have the full front of the bag, not have that webbing shown. So fun things that you can do with this cork. I tell you, once you get this roll, and because you have so much of it, you can really get creative and just let your imagination run with all the things that you can do with this wonderful natural cork in the super wide and 1 yard cut roll. Now, our Mission Viejo store, as I mentioned, Diane Maffris was the manager, and she picked the cork. You will see here in this picture that she has some of her staff with her. Now, our Mission Viejo store is not that far off of the 405 freeway as well. So the next location that I want to talk about is near and dear to me because it's where I hang out most of the time, and it is our Brea location. And our Brea location, we have Cameron Green as the manager, and he picked this wonderful seam fix seam ripper, or as I like to call them, Jack the Rippers, because we use them so much. And this item is super cool. Let me get it out of its packaging here. It has two sides, so there's two different tips. You'll see that it has these wonderful erasers on each end. So let me take it out, and you can see that we have a very fine tip for this seam ripper, and we also have a larger one. Both of them have the little ball tips to help you with seam ripper. And then also, I love these rubber ends because once you do your seam ripper, you take this, you roll it across where your threads were, and it pulls those threads out. If you don't have one of these seam fix seam rippers, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. You will love how easy and convenient they are, and especially since they have two sizes. I know when I do embroidery, I really want a finer tip to rip out those seams if there's a problem. And then oftentimes when I'm doing clothing or where I have larger seams, that large one. But it's great to have one tool that does three different things. So Cameron did a great job picking out one of these essentials that we need for any sewer out there, the seam ripper. Now our Brea location is located on Imperial Highway, and this store actually is our event location. It is the largest of our locations that we have, and this is where we host all of our large events that we have for all of our customers here. Now, our Corona location is our next location, and our manager, Lily Ortiz, picked out the Wave Applique Scissors as her featured tool of the trade that she loves so much. And I tell you, what a great pick. I love them too, and they are my go-to anytime I use applique. Now, these are made by Quilter Select, and they've got a really nice setup with them. They have the bent thing, so it's easy to get down to where you're sewing. In fact, I brought a hooped up little thing that I have already sewn out, and I want to show you how to use these. So you're going to basically take it, and this bill part of your scissors goes right flat on the fabric in the hoop, and you can cut directly around things. And the wonderful thing about it is, look how close and precise those cuts are. So this bent part allows you to get down right next to your fabric in the hoop. Now, another thing that's so important about these scissors is they have a really fine point. I have other duck bill or broad billed scissors for applique that don't have this point, and this point allows you to get into the nooks and the crannies. And those are always some of the hardest things to cut out. So you can see I'm going around some of these more difficult areas of my little applique here, and it does it flawlessly without any problems. Now, just so that you know, I brought a finished out little snake that you can see. That's what this is going to end up being. And what you want to make sure when you're doing machine applique is that you get all those little edges cleaned up before you do the final stitching, so that you don't have those frayed edges showing. And with these Quilter Select scissors, it does the job flawlessly. So another huge advantage for these scissors that we have from Quilter Select is they come with a left-handed scissor. So we're not forgetting any of the people out there. So you have the right-handed and you also have the left-handed, covering both things. Super precise and a complete necessity. Thank you, Lily, for picking the Wave scissors for applique. Now, our Corona location, once again, is super easy to get to. It's right off the 91 freeway. You can see in this picture here, we have a bunch of the staff ready and able to help you every time you visit our Corona location. Now, the next location that I want to feature is our Temecula location. It's the last on our list, but not definitely the least. Now, the manager, Josh Wilding, there is such a pleasure to deal with, and his picks for the favorite tool of the trade are these Havel scissors. Now, we have the 8.5 non-stick serrated blade, and we also have the 6-inch serrated. Both of these I use every single time I'm cutting in my studio at home. I love these scissors, and I was so pleased when Josh picked them for his favorite tool of the trade as well. So what I want to show you on these is they're serrated with a micro serration on one end. And you'll see that this one, the large one, the 8.5 blades, they have that Teflon black coating that is non-stick. So if you wanted to, you could cut through anything sticky and it's not going to stick and it's not going to be problematic. Sometimes when we're using a very sticky stabilizer, when you have to cut around things, it can gum up your blades. These blades will not gum up with anything that potentially can leave stickiness. So I love that about them. Like I said, they're a long blade. They do have more of a blunt cut, but they're for larger items. I love them when I'm cutting batting or cutting around a quilt sandwich, etc., to trim up those edges before I get ready for binding. They really are a favorite of mine. I absolutely love them. They've got a little bit of heft to them, easy to use. Now, the smaller one that we have from Havel is this 6-inch. Now, you'll notice on the 6-inch, it's got a super sharp point. So if you need to get into very tight quarters, you're able to do that. It also has those micro serrations, excuse me, on the edge. Now, I keep talking about the serrations, but I want to show you what that means. So I have some fabric here. Let me get it pulled out. Now, this is just a regular pair of sewing shears that I have. And what I want you to do, and you can try this at home, when you go to use your regular scissors, when you cut, you'll see that that fabric slightly migrates forward. Can you see how it moves? So I'm going to do it with the Havel scissors, and I want you to take notice that because of those micro serrations, it grips the fabric and it does not move. So same fabric, and look, no movement. Once again, same fabric, no movement. It's double the width, and once again, I'll show you with these other basic sewing scissors, and they weren't a cheap pair of scissors. The difference is they don't have those micro serrations and they don't grip the fabric. So once again, taking these scissors, and you see it moves every time you cut. Now, it's just, it's not a flaw, but it's just the way scissors make. It's probably science will say, when these two blades go and there's something in the middle of it, it will push it slightly away. But once again, with these micro serrated scissors, it grips it, cuts like butter, and I'm telling you, if you don't have micro serrated scissors, these are the ones to get. Thank you, Josh, for picking the Havel serrated scissors. And once again, we have the 8.5-inch blade and also the 6-inch. Now in this picture, you'll see several of our Temecula staff happy and ready to help you at any time you visit their store. So our Temecula location is once again conveniently located right off of the 15 freeway. If you haven't been there yet, you know, you can take a little time, go out, visit the store, and then go check out Wine Country as well. So those are our 5 locations. Now, I could not be left out of the favorite tool of the trade. When I was thinking about what we can do to showcase the stores, I thought this was the perfect thing. Showcase some of the stores, showcase the managers, give you a visual what the stores look like. But I also wanted to share my favorite tool of the trade. And I tell you, it doesn't matter if I'm doing machine embroidery, if I'm doing quilting, the 505 by O-Diff, which is a temporary spray, I go through a bunch of it throughout the year. Basically, any quilt sandwich that I put together, I will use it. I will also use it when I am wanting something to stick down to a stabilizer in the hoop. I'll give it a quick burst of spray. It absolutely is one of my favorite things. No joke, no fibbing. I use this like there's no tomorrow. So one of the advantages, let me find my little quilt sandwich, and I'll give you a couple tips on using it. So this is just a temporary quilt sandwich, and what I want to show you is one of the things that you want to do is you want to shake it up really good. And let me go over, I've used many other spray adhesives. Now, I do have an asthma history, and I don't like to breathe in a lot of things, and sometimes the other sprays that I was using, I would start coughing and having an asthma attack with it. Now with the 505, I do not have that problem, and I've been using it for years, and I want to give just a little tip real quick. So Robin Stanford, which I featured before for our Huntington Beach store, I used to use those curved little safety pins every time I quilted and put my quilt sandwich together. And I was in the store one day and I was making something, and she said, what are you doing? She goes, go get spray adhesive. And I told her, I can't, it's not good for my lungs, and I'm just more confident the other way. And she said, no, go grab it. So I grabbed it, and then I used it, and I tell you, thank you, Robin, I've been hooked ever since. It saves time, it's super convenient. No longer do I poke myself or have to use those safety pins. It really is a game changer for me. It's super convenient, and like I said, it goes fast. So what I do is I shake it up really good, and it does have a direction. So what I want to make sure that you understand is when you spray, it has a little bit of overspray. So I never use it in the area, let me get this out of the way a little bit, where my sewing machine is or any other items. I usually do it on my dining table, and then I'm just going to put down my batting, secure it, and you'll see it's stuck. And then the last thing that I would do is obviously spray the top as well. And once again, I spray a little bit away, but into the fabric. And then once I put the top fabric down, smooth, 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 and there you go. So obviously if you're doing a large quilt, it'll take a little bit longer, But once again, this ODIF 505 is my favorite tool of the trade, and I had to share with you as well. Okay, so for this month's show and tell, I made this adorable cat pillow with my embroidery machine, and then I simply added the browns to accent the stitching of the cat and the wonderful butterfly. It was so much fun, and it looks great on my chair at home. So once again, I want to see everything that you're working on, and this is my month for my show and tell for September, and I had this wonderful cat and butterfly pillow that I made. I love show and tell. I love to see what everyone's been working on. And as usual, with every show and tell and every one of our So Fun Clubs, we have a little gift. So please like, comment, and share your items with us on our Moores location. And once again, you can always go to moores-sew.com for any and all of your sewing needs. So, here is our gift for this month. When you like, comment, and share, you can be in the running to win this fabulous Kimberbell ensemble. So we have some Autumn Splendor buttons that are absolutely adorable to use on any of your items this month. And also we have the Kimberbell, it's a tape measure and also thread snip, little cute little combination there. And then one of the things that I love is their blanks, and this is the Kimberbell tote bag, and it's a blank so that you can decorate it and get everything done and then just simply sew it up together. Perfect for machine embroidery or doing your own applique or any other type of stitching on this wonderful bag. So all of these items are valued at over $40, so make sure that you like, comment, and share, and that way you can be in the winning to win this wonderful gift. Okay, so that about sums it up this month for our September So Fun Club. Once again, don't forget, you can visit us at moores-sew.com for any and all of your sewing needs. I look forward to seeing you on our next So Fun, and until then, happy stitching, everyone!